Today, what am I going to do for you? I'm going to dye my hair. All right, as you well know, because I've said it a million times, can't shut up about it, we're going on a cruise. And I could have gone another week probably without dyeing my hair, but then I'll be gone a week. So I got to dye it before I go. Heaven forbid if the people think I'm old on the cruise in my swimming suit laying by the pool, they're going to go, oh, she's old. She even has gray hair. So I can't let him think that. So I have got to dye this hair. It's first thing in the morning. Not really. But I tried to get at it first thing in the morning, but I got busy doing other things. Cleaning, putting stuff away, that kind of stuff. Okay, I wanted to wear my gold necklace on the cruise instead of silver, so I had to change out all my jewelry and find it. Why do I want to wear gold? I don't know. Maybe it looks better in the sun than silver. No, I'll tell you why. I bought this necklace right here. On the cruise ship, you know, they sell gold by the inch or something. And I bought this on the cruise, so I want to wear it on the cruise. But then I remember you can't, I think it's the silver you can't wear in the pool, the chlorine, something like that. So then I'm thinking, oh, I don't remember the rules as usual. I got the nicest email from a lady, and so I want to give a shout out to Brenda and Evelyn. Evelyn's the mother. I think Brenda's the girl, and she's just like me. She's younger than me. She's 50. I'm 70, but I'm the same age as the mother. But Brenda has a brooch collection that she started years ago, and they sent me pictures of all her brooches. They're beautiful, and she has a ring collection, and she loves Elvis. She's not, you wouldn't think she's old enough to love Elvis, but she loves him, and she showed me some of her Elvis things she has, and she's a beautiful girl. So I want to shout out to them, and thanks for watching me. And they're wonderful video friends. Okay, I got all the snarls out, and I cleaned my brush. These are my favorite brushes from Temu. I don't know why. Well, my scalp is not tender one bit. And these, they just get in there and just, you know, scrape your scalp. So if you have a tender head, you probably wouldn't want this kind of brush. And they do break. These little crisscrossies, sometimes it'll get a break somewhere along the way. My yellow one has a break. Makes me so mad. No, it's probably my fault. All right. Color Easy. This is just Dollar Store, Dollar Tree. And I got medium brown because I don't want to go dark brown. It's summer. I want to lighten up a little, so I don't want it to do it too dark. Comes like this. This is the developer, and this is the color, I think. I'm not a beautician. I don't know anything. I'm wearing my old paint shirt. You might thought, oh, she's painting today. No, dyeing my hair. Because, you know, this stuff's wicked. If it gets on anything, it is that color forever. So use your old towel, whatever. Now, if I was just going to touch up my roots, I usually use half of each, not mixed. You got to keep it separate. Once it's mixed, you got to use it all or throw it away. But because I'm going on the cruise and I want to get every gray hair that exists on my head, I'm using all of it. And remember, it's only $1. So stop being a Miss Cheapo. I got that from my dad. He was that way, cheap. And then Trevor, he tends to get it from me too. Nothing thrills us more than a good deal. And you want me to tell you about my good deal I got? Well, we got it. Jamie and I got it. We don't do our own. well, we do our own taxes in that we prepare and add everything up for each possible expense, ranch expense, house, expense, all the stuff, apartment, rental expense, and all that stuff. And so we add it all up. Jamie does that every year. We keep every receipt because we are responsible people like that. I have kept every Timu receipt and calculate every month right here. I have January and February's. I need to do March's next. How much I spent on Timu. Very responsible like that because, it's money. It's my life. So then Jamie takes it into the accountant. He's a good guy that has been doing it for years. And so, we don't know him that well. We've never entertained with him or anything, but he did go to our church, so we know him from there. He doesn't live in our ward. Somebody said they didn't know, have never heard of wards before. And it's just that there are so many people that belong to our church in this town. I think there is only a Baptist church and a Catholic church in our church, but we have several meeting houses. What church is it? You've known me long enough, you already know. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as the Mormons, also known as LDS for short. But we like to be called Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints because we want Christ in the name. Mormon and LDS doesn't say that we believe in Christ. And then some people would think, oh, Mormons are not Christians. Yes, we are. We dance. We don't wear uniforms like the Pligs. We don't believe in polygamy. We believe in obeying the laws of the land. And polygamy is not a law of the land. So we do not believe in it. And we believe the main thing, that Christ is the cornerstone of our church. Okay, so that takes care of that. So anyway, we have a lot of members in this town, and the wards are a certain group. They count up how many people in each section, like up here where I live, and we live in the West Hills ward, because we can't all go to the same chapel. There's no chapel big enough. We'd have to go to Salt Lake into that big chapel there, the big visitor, the big auditorium. So no, we have to go at different times. 4 different wards meet in our chapel, and they start at 9 o'clock, and then they designed it really great. So while one people are in the main meeting in the chapel, the other people are in the classrooms having classes. Then, and there's parking on both sides, a lot of parking, and then they leave, and then the next people come. So there's always, like every half hour, every hour, there's somebody in the chapel having their meeting, and the other people are in their classes. The little children go to primary classes. It's called primary until you're 12, and then you go to the teenager, young women and young men classes. It's all really quite organized, and they have leaders that they're called to do. I'm a primary teacher, and it used to be 3 hours, but now it's only 2, which we all like better. And then the women go, while the kids are in primary and the other ones are in young women and men, the adults go to Relief Society, and that's where the women all meet together and have a lesson. And then the men go to priesthood meeting. And then the next week, it's Sunday school class, where we every year is a different subject. The Bible, the Book of Mormon, church history. Anyway, every year is a different subject. And that's worldwide. They have correlation meeting, and it's worldwide. Everywhere is the same. So if you went to a Mormon church here, no matter what time, or a Mormon church in Hawaii, we're all on the same lesson. It's pretty cool. Nobody's left behind. Although you have different speakers in each ward has, they call two people. Will you speak next Sunday? And they give you a topic like being a disciple of Jesus Christ. How are you going to be a disciple of Jesus Christ? Or how are you going to be an example to others? How do you serve others? You know, topics like that, church topics. And then you're only supposed to speak about 15, 20 minutes. Anyway, we sing like other churches. We don't have drums in our church because they don't think drums are reverent, I guess. So I went to the Catholic church one time and they had drums. I kind of liked it. But, and then we have the sacrament. They pass the sacrament to everybody to remember Jesus Christ and what he did. You know, the sacrament prayer is in the Bible they give. So, now you know. We're not weirdos. We're not wicked people. We're not cultish, a cult. You totally have your freedoms. And the other thing is, like when I teach my primary class to the little children, all the classes have 2 teachers. You have to have 2 adults with the kids at all times. So there will be no accusations or hanky-panky or anything like that going on. Now that gives you a good feeling to know that, oh look, looks like my hair is thinning. It's not, it's just gray. So, and they have, in every classroom, there's a window in the door. So anybody can peek in at any time. That's a good feature too. Okay. So, what I was getting back to now, my good luck today. Our accountant called. I gotta have a drink. Just a minute. This lid is popping up. Why? It's too full? I overfold it? I overfilled it. Okay. So the accountant called, and our taxes are ready, which I'm glad they are before we leave on our cruise. And the good news, I'll give you the bad news. The bad news, it costs $430 for the accountant, which is $30 more than it was last year. It was only $400. The good news, we don't have to pay any. We don't owe any tax. So that means my Temu money that I made, I don't have to pay any tax on it, which means I have put money away for savings. My accountant told me the rule was to put away like $2,500 for your taxes so that when it's due, you could pay them. And I don't think I have quite that much, but now I don't have to pay taxes. I can pay that to my surgery debt. So I'm very glad about that. So it's all worked out. It won't pay it off. It'll just make a big payment, so now I'm not so much in debt. So I'm really thrilled about that. I can't stress enough how important it is to live in a budget. And really ask yourself when you buy stuff, do I need it or do I want it? I should talk. Not a shopaholic. I'm an influencer. I looked last night to make another order so it would be here when I get back. Because, you know, what video this month's made me the most money? It made $78 for me. Was the Temu biggest haul I ever made, and it lasted over an hour of me showing everything. But I think it only made me $78. Let's look. Sorry, Trevor texts me. Okay, sorry. I wanted to look it up. On YouTube Studio, we can look it up. They have so much information for a YouTube person. Overview. Yes. Let me see. Is this the right one? No, that's not the one I want. I want that one. You're not seeing. Oh, here's trends. Here is a big video of someone else, 113,000 views. Don't throw away your leftover fabrics, recycle them. And it shows 8 ideas. Huh. I could make a video that easy. Huge plus size Temu haul. That's a big one. Okay, I didn't do that one either. All right. Current. I saw it last night and it told me. The biggest one I made. And it was the longest Temu one I made. Of course it was longer. That's why I made more money probably. Because it had longer views, so more commercials. I only have 8.5% male watching me. That's sad. But Jamie said, if you want men to watch, you're going to have to hold a gun to their head. 72.6% of people watching are subscribed, and 27.4% are not subscribed. It tells you that. Okay, and most of them are from the United States, and most of them are 65 and over, 51%. So they say that an age 13 to 17, 0%. That's a lie. Because I have my grandkids watching, and they're all under that. So they're lying. Okay, let me look here. My revenue. Okay, I found it finally. The longest Temu video I ever made $72.93. Temu for my cruise, $44.64. So those are the only two I know about that made. Those are my biggest money makers. So it proves it. I need to make longer videos, and then just buy more Temu crap that I don't want or need. So Chad came over with a couple of friends the other day, and they were saw a bunch of Temu stuff, and they found stuff they liked and wanted, and I said, you can have it. So they took a bunch of stuff, and his friends thought that was like, they couldn't believe I just gave the stuff away. I'm like, I wasn't going to use it. If it makes someone else happy, they can have it. And I could always order another one. But Chad did see Trevor's birthday present, and then he wanted it. And I said, that's for Trevor's birthday present. He goes, I said, I'll order you one. He goes, well, my birthday's coming up too. It's in May. And I said, okay, I'll order you one for your birthday too. And he goes, well, why don't you just order Trevor a new one, and then you can have this. Trevor's birthday's on the 29th of March. And I said, no. Because then I won't have a present for Trevor. So anyway, he didn't get too mad. I had a smaller one. It's those 3D things. I had a smaller one. I said, you can have this one. And he goes, I'm going to tell Trevor I have the baby to his. Okay. Those boys are still. wanting what the other one has. No, they're pretty good. They get along. And then Tyson, he called me the other day. He lives in Michigan. He's my baby boy. That was, he was the cutest baby ever. And he was the child who never told a lie. The older he got, he never told a lie. And you could just count on him. If you asked who did it, he wouldn't, he didn't, even if it was himself. I did it. He never told a lie. So, one time, we lived in this house that had, it was through the field was the school on one side, and then there was a field in our backyard, and then a few houses back there. It was in town, but it was spread out. It's not like that anymore. Since the prison went into Crescent City, California, Brookings, they wanted to live in Oregon instead of California. And so, because there's no sales tax in Oregon, so then the town's really grown and ruined it. But anyway, there was this backhoe out in the field. So, little boys, well, they climbed right up in there, pretending they're driving it and stuff. And the guy just left it there all the time after his job. But it was like months. And it was, how backhoes can look, all rusty and crappy, and especially in Brookings by the ocean, the salt air. So it looked like it was not even working. It looked like a junker. And so Tyson and his friend get up in there and pretending to drive it. And there's pipes coming up, the exhaust pipes. And they took some rocks and dropped in those pipes. And they had some gauges, the glass gauges, and they broke a couple of those, the glass out of the gauges. Anyway, so then I get a call from the police or the school. I don't remember which. I think it was the juvenile department at the police station. And Tyson and Foster was the husband then. So we had to go down there and see what was going on. They called him in. Somebody at the school saw the boys up there riding the backhoe. That's how it got tattled on. So anyway, the cop is talking to Tyson in front of us. And he goes, that backhoe out there in the field? And Tyson's, yeah. How old was he? 6 or 7 probably. And he goes, did you ever climb on it and sit on it? And Tyson, yeah, we did. And then they go, well, there's some broken things on it. Did you break anything on it, you and your friend? Yeah. He didn't lie one bit. Told what his friend did and what he did. No, I didn't break it. The friend did that part, and I did this part, and we're just sitting there listening. Anyway, we had to pay money. But even when I wish Tyson would have lied and said he didn't do it, he told the truth. But, of course, they say that we teach our children to lie because then they lie because they don't want to get in trouble. So anyway, I made him do chores and, I didn't beat him or anything because it was kind of innocent. He didn't know that it was a good vehicle. He thought it was just a crappy old broken thing. So anyway, I tried to use it as a learning thing, and if it's not yours, don't do it. Stuff like that. And back then, I think it was only each one, the other kid and us, we both had to pay $350 to fix it, to repair. So, but like I say, Tyson Doesn't lie. He didn't lie. Now, when he got older, now, when he was a teenager then, he's a good kid. But in high school then, here, after we moved here, I got called to the school. And he got caught with a marijuana pipe in his pocket. I don't know what the whole story was. I don't remember. But I had to go down there. And he said, it wasn't mine. It's that other, it was Donnie's or some other guy. I don't know. I don't remember the story. But I had to tell the guys, Tyson doesn't lie. So whatever he told you, it's the truth. But, parents do that. My child would never do that. And then you find out they did for sure, and you have to eat your words. Well, when they were around me, they never would do that. I don't know what they do when they're with their peer pressure. You got to teach kids under peer pressure. Don't do it. I used to tell my kids, if I'm with somebody who's smoking, that doesn't mean I'm going to smoke. No, I don't smoke. I don't want it. Go ahead. You can do what you want, but I don't want to do it. If they're doing drugs, if they're drinking, any of that stuff, go ahead. You can do it if you want. I'm not stopping you, but no, I don't do it. Come on, taste it. And I'll tell you, I never have drank in my life. I've never even tasted it. And when you tell people that, in my earlier days when I was around Foster's friends, the alcoholic, if you tell people, no, I never have tasted it even. Well, here, have some now and taste it. And I'm like, if I've gone this old without tasting it, then I'm not going to start now. And why didn't I ever taste it? My parents didn't drink. I never had alcohol around. My friends didn't drink. I never was around it. I never was even offered it. I got married at 19 or 18. I don't know. And so I wasn't old enough to drink. Neither was the husband I married. We weren't drinkers. We weren't from a drinking culture at all. So, and then I was pregnant. When Chad was 5, I had my 4th baby. That means you're pregnant all the time or breastfeeding. So you don't drink then. Then when I married the alcoholic, I knew for sure I never wanted to drink because I didn't want to become an alcoholic and be like him. I didn't have money either for cigarettes I was a very responsible mother. I hear these women. I was watching that fat show, 600-pound show, and this mother, she must not have been able to cope very well. She only had 1 child, and she's like, I can't do the program because I'm busy with my child. Oh my gosh, I had 4 at 26 and was a single mother. I managed just fine. It's not that hard. But of course, I grew up always wanting to be a mother. And I babysat as a teenager. I had nephews. And I had my little brother David when I was 14. My mother, had David. And so I knew how to take care of kids. So it wasn't a hardship for me at all. I was in my bliss. I didn't want a career. I wanted to take care of my babies. I used to have nightmares that I had to go to work and leave my baby with a babysitter. It would horrify me. No, I don't trust anybody with my baby. So my mother, she would babysit sometimes, but I always breastfed them forever too, till they were 2, except for Trevor, because I got pregnant with Tyson real fast, and I nursed Cameron for 2 years, and then they were too close. I was just sick of it hanging on me. But I told Trevor, sorry I didn't nurse you as long, and he goes, good. Because that was when he was a little kid. That's what he said. But they were all healthy children. My sister's kids have asthma, bronchitis, all that kind of stuff. My kids never did. They still don't have any allergies or anything. I don't know if breastfeeding, I think it's more genetic, but they're all healthy. Even as adults, they're healthy people. So, I'm bragging. That's naughty. But I'm a healthy person too, so they didn't inherit it from me. Okay, it's killing me. I have a little bit left here. I guess I should just keep smudging it in there. It's going to be the best dye job ever. I never went. Yes, I did. One time I went to the beauty parlor and had him dye my hair like this because I thought it would last longer and it'd be better dye. Guess what? For your information, going to a beauty parlor was not one bit better. You know why? Because what makes you need to dye your hair again is because of the outgrowth. No matter what kind of dye you use or who does it for you, that outgrowth's going to be the same and it's going to start showing. Now, if you want blonde streaks and colors and everything, yeah, go to the beauty parlor. But just this plain old color, get a color that's not drastic. I don't want jet black. And just do it yourself. It's easy. Okay. And then you leave it on for like 20 minutes, which it's already been on some time. So I don't do the ends because you want your ends of your hair they're like older, right? And so they get up lighter in the sun and everything. If you dye them too, your hair will be all the same color. It won't really be all the same color though, because this hair, new hair, this is virgin roots, grab the hair dye faster. The ends, that's why you're supposed to start at the ends and go work in if you do some hair dyes, because it takes longer to dye it. And it used to be dyed, think about it, this at one time was up right here, probably in 1970. My hair doesn't grow very fast. I just use my paintbrush for my paints. It works the best because they give you these stupid little brushes. It's like, I need a heavy duty brush. So I did my own. Okay. I think I talked about everything I wanted to. Trevor's birthday's coming up. I thought I would do one whole show dedicated to Trevor, about Trevor, on each one of my kids' birthdays. Show the baby pictures, the little baby books, go along and show everything, how they grew, their experiences, and then Trevor's classroom could watch it. They might get mad at me. I told about Tyson a little bit. He was a delightful son. I just remember Tyson's little face. Because I raised him alone. I divorced the dad when he was 2 months old. I said, Tyson, who loves you? Who feeds you? You do. Who nursed you? You did. Who potty trained you? You did. And he would answer. My kids talked young, so he was like little. And he knew all the answers. Who loves you? You do. Anyway, he was cute. But Trevor was cute. Trevor talked really young, too. Cookie. That's 7 months. They were saying cookie and everything. Meow. Because you know why? I talk to my children all the time. And when I changed their diaper, we would practice their words. And they were with me. And I loved my little babies so much. I never resented them. I never wanted to get rid of them. When they cried, like especially Emily after my baby died, when Emily was in her crib and she'd start crying, I was so happy to see her in the night. Oh, good, you're awake. And I would go get her out of her crib and be so happy to see her. So when I had Tyson, he was like 9 pounds, 2 ounces, 22 and a half inches long. And I wanted the doctor to say, if you have one more baby, you will die. Because, you know, I said he was my fourth baby pregnancy in 5 years. But no, the doctor slapped me on the butt, the side of my hip. You're just made for having babies. Thanks. Anyway, so, but then I knew I was going to have a girl, so I knew I had to have at least one more baby to have a girl. Then I had that baby, and then he died. Then I wanted another baby so bad. I knew there was one, and it was Emily. And then I didn't want to have any more. I was happy. But there was a baby, kept haunting me. Haunting. I didn't know if it was a boy or girl or anything. I wanted to be done. No, a baby haunting me from heaven, telling me I have to be born. No, I didn't hear any words. It was just haunting. And I told Foster, I know I'm supposed to have another baby. Of course, most men, they don't care if you want to get pregnant, okay. But I couldn't do it on purpose because I hated being pregnant. I hated those women who go, I never felt better in my life than when I was pregnant. Are you kidding me? I felt horrible the whole time. Morning sickness, throwing up, heartburn, back hurting, pelvic bone, Hated being pregnant. But the results was what I lived for. And so now that I'm old, I wish I would have had more children because my posterity gives me the greatest joy. I wish I would have had more children and suffered another pregnancy, but I don't know how I could have fitted in with the divorces. And when I married Jamie, I was 40, and Hillary was 7 or 8, and Chad was, old. I didn't want to have a baby at that age, and we were so in love. We didn't want a child to come between us and have to share our time with the baby. We just wanted to get rid of these kids and be together like we are now. Not to say we don't love them or anything. It's just that we're so happy we found each other after a bad marriage that, we wanted to be together. And so we got to for 30 years. June is our anniversary, 30 years anniversary in June. It's coming up. So we made it. When we got married from the personal ad, we met in the newspaper, personal ad. And a lot of people go, it's not going to work, on my end anyway. And in his end too. His mother was asking his neighbor, who was from Brookings and knew her sister still lived there. So Jamie's mother asked that lady to have her ask her sister if I was good, which, Renee Marks, she said, yes, Angela's wonderful. And then David looked up Jamie to see if he had a criminal background, and it was good. But Jamie's church job was financial clerk. In our church, we have someone's in charge of keeping all the records of money spent, and you have to have 2 signatures on every check that they pay anything to, because they don't want any embezzlements or anything. Not one man is ever in charge of anything. It's always 2. So, a witness, like the Bible says, a witness in all the things that are true. But anyway, so Jamie was the financial clerk at the time, and I'm thinking they wouldn't have a loser person be the financial clerk at church. They make sure that they call a good person to handle the finances. So I was pretty confident that he was a good guy, and I was right. You get that feeling when you're around people, if they're good or bad. And he was very nice. He wanted to give me money when he came out. He wanted to get my hot tub working. He brought all his tools. I had bought a used hot tub, and he was going to help me get it going. And he brought all his tools. But then we decided we're getting married, so I didn't need the hot tub. We moved it out to Oregon. And I think we ended up using it as a fish pond. Jamie did. That was fine. I didn't care. He bought me a new hot tub. So, okay. I got to push the button. I don't want to have hair dye on my camera. Oh, okay. Bye.